everyone. Hope all is well. My name is Stacy Pryor, owner of I.M.B Studios and Podcast, located at 1400 Jefferson Street, Nashville, Tennessee, in the heart of downtown North Nashville. And today we are hosting our Good Morning Gorgeous Breast Cancer Awareness Brunch. And today we have two beautiful survivors here to tell their story about their journal. We also have a nurse here to give us her clinical perspective about breast cancer. Breast cancer is one of the most common cancers among women globally. And each year we reserve the month of October to celebrate and love on our people. So this year we're going to love on Miss Rasheeda Johnson Conyers. She's a Nashville native, a mother, a grandmother, a woman of great faith. And we have Miss Tasha Garrett Colas. She's an East Nashville resident, survivor. And we also have Nurse Abby Jackson. She's an RN nurse, and she's here to give that clinical perspective about breast cancer. How y'all ladies? Give these ladies a round of applause. And also, I would like to thank everyone in the audience who came out to support this awareness event. I'm very, very happy and I'm very, very pleased. So right now, I want to take this time out to introduce each and every, or allow these ladies to introduce themselves and tell us about their journey. Miss Rasheeda, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Nice.
Thank you so much for coming and having the courage to talk about this disease. And you know, it's such a touchy subject and it's so sensitive, and I'm just so grateful that you just had to come and tell it and share your story.
Yes, my name is Rasheeda Conyers, and I'm 51 years old, and I got diagnosed in 2019. I have stage 3 breast cancer. I lost both of my breasts. The battle was hard, but I made it. I'm still here. And like I said, I did 26 bags of chemo, and I did 30 days of radiation. And I'm still on chemo medicine. I have to do that for 5 years. I got 2 years down and 3 more years to go. But I'll tell you one thing. Listen to your body. If your body tells you something, you go to the doctor. Because I didn't listen to my body at all. I'm emotional about this subject.
What were some of the symptoms that you was having when you first noticing a change?
Well, my left breast had cancer, had chemo, not chemo, sorry, chemo. It had pus coming out. Mm-hmm. And I felt like a real sore tender spot on my left side. And I knew something was wrong. I told my daughter about it. She said, go to the doctor. I said, I'm going to go. But I was doing the wedding. I was getting married in 2018. So much was going on. I didn't go to the doctor. And I didn't listen to my body. So I skipped the mammogram on 2018. I skipped it. So got married, went to my annual doctor visit in 2019. And that's when I had my mammogram done, and they told me that, hey, we need to go into an x-ray, get a little deeper in here and see what's going on. So they did that. They took the biopsy, took it out, waited so long. That's the
How long was the wait?
Whew. It was waiting like 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. And my doctor called me. I was at work. I never forget it. I was at work. She said, can you come to my doctor's office? I said, right now? I'm at work. She said, stop what you're doing and come on. And I prayed. I'm like, something got to be going on.
Yeah.
So I found my best friend there. I asked her to go to the doctor with me. When they told me that, first thing I did was cry. We cried and prayed. We cried and cried and I cried until I got home. Okay. We have That's okay. That's okay. She cried when I got home. And I did. And all my support team that I love came to my house. And they prayed over me. They love on me. And that's the best part. Is love. The love that they gave me.
Yes.
And the support that they gave me, it was amazing. And I love every last one of them. But I made it, the grace of God, I made it. And I wanted to give up, but I didn't. I didn't, but that, I got my grandkids, but I didn't give up. I kept going. I had my husband. He was awesome. My mom was awesome. But I made it. I made it. I cry sometimes because my body is not like it's supposed to be. And I would never be the same person I am before the surgery. So I had both of them removed, my breast removed, and I had multiple surgery. Matter of fact, I gotta have surgery tomorrow.
What would be the next surgery? What would they have to do to your breast?
What happened was the tissue on my breast, where so many surgeries been cut on, it made a infection, like it's a big pus or something around here where tissue has built up so badly where it's sore. So he has to go in there and reshape my breast up and fix the part that's very, sore. So, yes, so I had like a deep flat, which is what some people don't know nothing about it. I choose not to have an implant because implants, you have to go back every 10 years and get replaced. Okay. And also, you can get an implant, you can also get cancer behind the implants. And you have to go back and get it done. Yeah. So I said, I'm going to use my own tissue. Sure. And then I'm going to, look good when I do. Okay. Okay, because they took the tissue from my stomach. They gave me some boobies. Okay. Tissue. Thank you, girl. Thank you. And they gave me some tissue and made my stomach flat. Okay. And got my body big. Okay, back in the day. Anyway, I don't have to go back and get a mammogram ever in my life. Okay. I ain't got to do anything at all. I can't get breast cancer again. I can't do anything. So that was the best choice for me to do. Awesome. So, I mean, the road was hard. So I like to tell y'all ladies, listen to your bodies. Amen. Do not miss a mammogram every year. Take one. Yes. Take one. I'm the first person in my family to ever have breast cancer. First person.
How old were you when you had your first mammogram?
I was like, I think like, I don't know how.
Because they say at 40, is the right time for women to have mammogram, or if you're at higher risk, or if you have symptoms, to have it checked before. So
I don't remember my first one, but I had one after I started having kids. I started having because I had a breast reduction. So when I had that breast reduction, and about 20 years ago, I still had to get it done. So my breast has been worked on for the breast reduction, then this happened. So it's been cut on so many times.
So I would like to go to Nurse Abby Jackson, because I also know this is a touchy subject for her as well. But based on what she said, will you give us your clinical aspect, kind of explaining what it was she was going through to help these ladies in the audience and those watching to get a better understanding about breast cancer?
Hello, my sisters. How are you? I'm Abby. I'm native from Chicago. So I've been here. She's one of the first sisters I've ever met, and I've kind of stalking her ever since. So to speak about my sister here, your journey has been amazing. Keep it up, and I'm so grateful you have a support system. And it's so important. It's so important. But what I'm going to speak on is some of the things that she touched on. She touched on when one of the things she asked was when to get, a mammogram, when to get it. Back then it was 40. But there are factors that we have to think about. First of all, that number has to drop now because we're getting 25 and 30-year-old women globally, like Stacey said, that's getting breast cancer. Because she's correct, breast cancer is the most common. Skin cancer is the most common, number one, believe it or not. But it is more common. So between 25 and 30, that's what they speak on, you should. If you have a history in your family, that's a factor. You should start, I'm going to say, as soon as you become sexually active, like after 18, you should start doing advanced. And, they have all this new technology where they don't have to put your boob in and squeeze it and kill your boob. There's different ways to detect it. But if you know it travels in your generation or your family, do not, ignore it. Another thing she mentioned was symptoms. Listen to your body. I tell that to my patients all the time. So I am a general registered nurse, but I'm also a nurse practitioner now too. So, and where I work, I'm an educator. So this is I'm loving this right now. What I'm gonna tell you about the symptoms that she talked about. Don't ignore your body, because she's right. My own mom is a touching subject that she spoke about. My own mom had it, and when I was in high school, she had had it for like 25 years. It was in remission, where that woman was doing everything. So I thought she was making it up, to be honest, all my life. But when my dad died in 2005, that's when it hit her. So cancer can make you, when it's in remission, it can come out when there's stress-related issues, like grief or anything like that. So it came back, and that's when, we started her breast cancer journey, and that was in 2005.
Thank you so much for that. We needed that education. So now, Tasha, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Introduce yourself, everyone.
Hello, ladies. I'm Tasha Polis, and I am a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed 2 years ago, 2021. And how I found out is I felt a lump, and my mom was really, really sick. So I was like, to piggyback on what she's saying, I was really grieving, like I was stressed with my mom's sickness. And I didn't know what was going on with me, because in 2020 I started losing a lot of weight. So I was just like, I was depressed, but I know my mom was sick. So fast forward to June 2021, my mom passed away on June 4th. And I found out I had found a lump like a week after she passed, and then found out that I had cancer. Right after that, because my mom never knew that I had cancer. But again, I feel like the stress that I was under and everything, that it probably brought it on. It was stage 2, so I had to do 6 rounds of chemo, 30 rounds of radiation, and 2 surgeries. I did a lumpectomy where I kept my breast. They just went in and took out the cancer. And I had to have 2 surgeries, because the first time they didn't get it all out. So they had to go back in to get the rest of it where it was, where they had to get it out. And then I'm on medication as well for like 5 to 10 years, I guess. But how I found out that I had cancer was, of course, they were doing the testing. And I'm waiting for the doctor to call me with the results. And I didn't get the call, waiting. So I had, in 2020, y'all know we had COVID. So I had registered with LabCorp for getting my, COVID result. And so I knew that I was getting tested for, to see if I had breast cancer, but I planned the girls' trip. Me and my friends were going somewhere. So I was getting ready for my trip. I was getting my hair done, getting that hair braided. And then I got an email saying your result was ready. And I was like, let me look at this email.
At that particular time, were you having any symptoms? How was you feeling? Oh, you know me, well, you
Then I had the
see.
lump.
Okay, you had the lump, okay.
And I was like, I asked my friend, I was like, feel this. And her mom had breast cancer. I was like, I don't think I got cancer. But because my mom had just passed, so I was dealing with this, planning her funeral, and I was like, I really didn't have time. And I'm like, the office that I used to go to, they would always be busy. So I felt like I didn't even think that, okay, this is something serious. They will work you in, because it was like always, to get an appointment is like hard. But I'm like, if it's something serious like that, they will work you in. So she's like, you need to go check on it. And because I showed one of my friends about it, and she just really didn't really say too much. But I guess she didn't really know that it could be cancerous. So then the other friend, like I said, her mom, and luckily her mom had went through it, because she was like, you need to go check on it. And that's what made me go check on it, even while I was trying to plan my mom's funeral.
Were you in any pain?
Not really pain, but I'm like, my digestive system really wasn't doing well, and I wasn't eating right. So I could tell, because I was losing weight, that probably came from that.
Okay.
So then the doctors again hadn't called me, but I get my results from from the PAP group, and I'm like, let me look at this. And I was getting my hair done, and when I read the email, it said that I had cancer, and I'm like, that's not a way for you to find out that you have cancer, because a doctor should have called me first, or even if it's an email like that, those labs, they should not send that to somebody, a result in that nature, But again, had I not done the COVID testing with them, I wouldn't have gotten I was registered with them. But again, I opened up the email, I'm getting my hair done, and I was like, let me open it up. And that's when I found out that I had cancer. And I was shaking, I couldn't get myself together. So she was like, do you still want to get your hair done? I was like, well, yeah, because I'm still planning on going on a trip. So the whole time I'm on this trip, I'm thinking I'm going to die, because I'm looking it up. The diagnosis was I have ductal carcinoma invasive, where it has spread to a lymph node. But if you Google that, of course, everything is that you're going to be dead, and that it's like stage 4. I didn't know what stage it was. It ended up being stage 2. But the whole time I'm on this trip with my friends, I couldn't even get my mind together, because I'm thinking, I'm going to be this might be my last trip. And it was really, it was very stressful at the time. But then I get back, and then the doctor calls me. He's like, yeah, well, and it wasn't even when I get back on my trip, so I thought that I might get the call while I was on the trip. He never called, so I get back a couple days later. He called. He's like, well, yeah, we're gonna just let you know you have cancer. I was like, I know, because I read the email, and he gave me he sent me to an oncologist, and then when I went to them, is when they told me the stage it was in, and that that I could have a plan. That it was. They say if you were to have breast cancer, the one that I had was the most treatable one, which nobody wants cancer, because now, even as a survivor, you always think that it can come back. Yes. And a lot of times when it does come back, it's worse. It's really, and so that's even scary. So you're glad that you're over the hump, but really, are you ever over the hump? Because it can come back. So that's the scary part about it.
Nurse Abby, based on what she said, is that how doctors tell people that
Goodness, absolutely not.
that they have cancer?
So when she registered for the lab, they probably was thinking that doctor already gave us those informations, and she was already in the system. I've yet to meet a doctor, and I'm registered in 38 states. I'm a travel nurse, so I've yet to see a doctor. And I'm not going to say doctors are not human, but not with breast cancer. I've never had that. So I think that was an unfortunate a blip that should not have happened. Your journey shouldn't have started like that, and that's scary, because I tell people all the time about that Google thing. You know what I mean? I look at it like this. One of us can put something in Google. Anybody can. I'm not saying everything in Google is not correct. Absolutely. But, if you're going to go and do the research, I tell people to go to WebMD, because that's a site where physicians use, and that information is coming from clinical physicians, So, it's so not common.
Miss Sarita,
Yes.
Let's talk about your chemo journey and everything that you endured, on your chemo journey. How did you feel, and what can you tell the audience, about your chemo journey?
Chemo is a lot. It's a lot to learn. They give you so much information about it. When that nurse was telling me, I was like this. And she was just pouring all this information. I'm glad my husband right there. He works in the medical field. Because what she was saying to me, so much of it, I was like, huh? But, they should have, to me, they should have somebody that was, mental person. Because that's what they need to give us, because that's a lot on your brain. But my chemo was hard at first, because I had an allergic reaction. It's a thing they call red devil. We was just talking about that. It's just like, what'd you say?
I said, they call the medicine, it's red, and they say that when it's going, they have to kind of slightly push it into your veins whenever they're giving it to you because it can cause you to die. But they called it the red devil, and I said, I'm not going to call anything red devil going in my body. This is the blood of Jesus.
Like she said, if you have 4, and they put in your veins in your little port real slow. They can't do it fast. You got to do it real slow. And that medicine right there is so strong. It will put you down.
Yes.
And it makes your hair go away real quick. That second one, my hair started falling out. The second one. But
By your second treatment.
your hair, you could feel like I had locks, so they was just coming. I could just feel it just coming out. But red devil was something else. I had to have it every other week. I had to do 4, and then after that, I had one every week for 26 rounds of chemo. It had a lot of steroids in it, which made me gain so much weight. And then at nighttime, I'd be up all night long. I could see the sunrise. Like, Lord, just let me go to sleep. But it just kept that steroids had me up, and I put Benadryl in there. But it made me tired. I broke out sometimes, and sometimes I had chills. And one time I did something. I was with my girlfriend Nikki, and she went with me, and I don't know what happened, but I just started shaking. You remember that, Nikki? I started shaking. They kept running out and giving me some medicine, but it stopped. I started burning. It wasn't shaking. I was burning, and I was like, "What is wrong? I've been doing this for a minute. What's going on?" But that is a part of it. It's very hard. Chemo is very hard. I don't wish that on nobody.
Top of journey.
Again, I did 6 rounds of chemo, and it was like she said, it's hard. I had to do mine every 3 weeks because everybody's, is gonna have a different treatment plan. I did mine every 3 weeks, and they sent me home. I had the red devil, blood of Jesus medicine, and then I had 2 other chemo medicines. But they would send me home with a little thing I have to have as an injection because the medicine will make your it makes your blood cells and stuff go low. So it's to make sure you don't get no infection and stuff. So it would inject in my body and make me feel a little weird, but it looked like it did a little tick-tock countdown when it's about to go into you. And like I said, I guess it's to keep your I think the low red blood cells or the white blood cells to keep them from going so low.
Yep.
So I had that. My hair came out, and you have to have a good support system and good friends, and not somebody that's wanting just to be nosy.
Right.
Because I have seen somebody say support and surveillance is different. It's not the same, and it is because some people will want to know that some people will just come back into your life that, and just want to make sure you're okay, but they really don't. They just want to make sure you're not going to die. I'm like, I have a friend of mine who was like, we were stopped kind of talking, and it was like, I'm like, I know you're concerned, but it's like, the more, I felt like she was more like surveillance. Just, I'm like, I'm not, it's going to be okay, but, don't just be here to be nosy,
Yeah.
Make sure you really are there to support your people that's going through it and that you really care or whatever. But, so like I said, it's just 6 rounds of it. And my hair came out, I would say, I'm not in a post or something, like, my hair's coming out. She was like, don't say that. I'm like, don't speak it. I'm like, it's coming out. I know that it's coming out. I feel it coming out. So.
I.M.B, based on what these ladies just told us, is this the more common medicine used for chemo?
So this red devil, it's IV push. That's what they call it, and you're correct. It has to go in. When I'm educating, like nurses, you have to push this literally. You're counting to 50 in your head. I don't know if y'all ever, probably some people speak it, some people, but you're counting it, you're pushing it like this. And the symptoms are undeniably, they're bad, So, yeah, it's bad. And the symptoms, so you have to think about it this way. They're giving you a medication. They're giving you, and I hate to use this terminology, but it's true. They're giving you a type of poison to kill a poison in your body. There's no way I can say that. So your body is like fighting it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what are you doing inside me? That's exactly what it's doing, But on the flip side of that, it's an amazing medication, and it does work. It's one of the newer medications, and sometimes I'm very leery about some of these new medications that are out. But I've done my homework. I listen to patients, and that's kind of what I know about that. She mentioned your mental health. I want to speak on that a little bit because I know now they do partner patients with a mental health person. It's usually a therapist or anyone like that because it can psychologically take you out the game. I've had patients who committed suicide because they're afraid of what to expect or they don't know what to expect. So, having that knowledge and having all of that, like she said, put on you, that is immense stress. And like I mentioned, what does stress do? It will make your count go down and everything. And that's what you want to try to maintain. You want to maintain your cancer blood cells. Your normal blood cells. So Stacy mentioned earlier about global cancer. And, it accounts for like 12.5% of worldwide, right? So the most the most is the highest list, the way I'll say it. Number one is Belgium and the Netherlands, right? Believe it or not, we're at the bottom. We're with Japan, China, and the United States. And the United States is low because of education, because we're feeling on ourselves. You know what I mean? We're doing it. We're telling our other sisters. We're teaching, I know I can already guess that through your journey, you're educating every family member you got. So when you get that education, when you know more, you do more, okay? Unfortunately, that dietary thing don't hit us, but it hits Japan and China because one of the things that happen with them is the fat intake. Fat intake can cause it to go even higher, and they don't put that in their diets like that. So that's why their numbers are so low. In 2021, in China, 96,000 reported cases, but in Fiji, it's like I don't want to guess. Sorry, 2.3 million. Y'all see that? You know what I mean? So we have we give the resources to each other, and that's what keeps us, be in the know. That's what I want to say. We help each other be in the know.
Nurse Abby, let's talk about breast cancer in the African American community among Black women.
The little that I did look into, unfortunately, it is more common with us. But it dates back to where we come from. You have to think about what we're used to eating, what we were forced to eat, so to speak. You know what I mean? The fat and the unhealthy foods, that we spice up. And we kept that culture going, so of course it's more prevalent in us, our cases are the highest in the country, in the world actually, African American women. We're more higher than the African women in Africa, but that if you think about it, African women, they eat plant-based food in their country, not when they come here and they get Americanized. In their country, they eat plant-based food and fish. They don't eat a lot of the things that we eat. But when they come here, it gets a little different. This is what we do. This is what our mama taught us. So our diet is really huge. It has a big factor in how we look at it. So number one is the hereditary, your generation. Number two is our diet. Yeah.
So is it any prevention lifestyle changes that we can do to prevent it, or other than eating healthy, exercise, those basic things?
Your testing, that's the biggest.
Okay.
We have to do the testing, the labs, the blood work, all of those things, watching our body. Those are the biggest things, Once to kind of prevent it. If it's in your family, do your due diligence. It's real. You have to, when you know your grandma has it and you turn around your mom have it, 85 to 90% will get it. You will get it, or your daughter. So if you can't, you don't, then it's definitely gonna hit that next generation. It's almost 100% that your daughter or someone will get it, or even your son, because men do have breasts. They have mammograms. They have those mammary glands. I said mammograms. Sorry, y'all. They have the mammary glands just like women. So there are men that get breast cancer, African American again, but that sits back to our diets.
Another question. How would we know if it's genetics? If no one around us or in our generation has had breast cancer?
Well, there's testing and you can, that's
determine that.
the testing does determine that, and believe it or not, they have the test that's out that can even determine where you get it. You know what I mean? So, for instance, how can I explain it? So, like for stage 1, it's local. It's like in that one spot, whether it's the a lymph node or a portion of your boob. Okay. So, secondly, that stage 3, that means it starts to metastasize out. The test that they can do can literally look at where it is and can be able to tell you, hey, this is because your grandma.
Can I ask you ladies a personal question? Was it genetic in your family or was it hereditary?
I'm the first person.
Oh, you're the first person?
Mine was not genetic, but my aunt on my mother's side had breast cancer in 2016. And I mean, from that point on, I think I should have been telling the doctor this,
Yes.
but I didn't. And then I found out in 2021. But I mean, and then when I found out, it was, even if it wasn't genetic, they will probably start testing
Exactly.
every year. So it might not have gotten to the size that it had,
Yep.
because if it gets it before you get to a certain stage, certain size, they can do just surgery to take it out. But then when it gets too big and it's spread, that's when you have to do chemo, you have to do radiation and all that. We don't have to, but that's what is recommended.
Thank you so much for that. Okay. For those of you who's watching, we are a live taping, and so I would like for the audience to engage into this, and if there's any questions that anyone that would like to say anything or ask these ladies, are y'all okay with that? I would like for you to take this opportunity now to think about what you want to say, and whenever you're ready, you can stand up and you can come here, and I would like for you to ask your question, and these ladies are going to answer it for you. So we have Ms. Cheryl Huff of the National Action Network, and what would you like to ask these ladies?
First one is, my sister, she had, I don't understand what it was because it never was in our family at all. But she said that she had cancer, but the count never went past 0. And so, but she had her breast removed, and because she had the right one removed, she went and got the left one removed and did the implant, which I was telling her that wasn't good, but she did. But I don't understand how you have cancer, but your counts never go up.
Okay, so if you think about, that is a true statement. So if you think about how HIV is, the numbers are with HIV, you can actually be HIV, but it's undetectable because of your cells. Same thought process with breast cancer. If your count is so low, it's there, but it's undetected. So that was actually smart of her to remove it, because that means she's in remission pretty much. But it can also come back like any stress, like anything. And sometimes some people don't know why it will come back. It's just a phenomenon we can't explain, but it can come back. So what she did is she became proactive. She got in front of it. She got in front of the game, and she removed it. Okay, if I don't have no boobs, then I can't get it.
What's the second?
She went to the hospital and she did her mammogram, and everything came back. She was good, nothing wrong or anything. and that was in February. And then in November, she got a lump under her arm. And when she went back, the doctor said she had stage 3 cancer. So she did the mammogram, and then so she was thinking that because she did the mammogram, it irritated something and brought it out, or I don't know, but
Well, what I can tell you is this: stage 3 means it has metastasized to other organs, right? So if you can't detect it in the boob, it could be that she was in remission or her count was so low, and it will metastasize in days, let alone months. You know what I mean? So, and then if you think of where your lymph nodes are or your lobes are, they're like all around here, even in your neck. It could easily, all it has to do is rub on one, and it will catch it, and it's around.
Is anybody else like to ask a question?
I have a question.
Miss Kim.
My question is, what's the difference between chemo and radiation?
With chemo, it's like I said, your medicine is going into your vein and into your port. They'll put a port in you, and then they will inject it. Some people give it straight to the vein, or you can do the port. And then radiation is you just going in to like a hospital area, and they have like a big machine going under it, and they are just kind of basically like it's burning you. It's because I had burns on my body from it, but then they clear it up and they give you, of course, medicine and I don't know some type of medicine they'll give you like it's like Vaseline, but it's not to get it cleared up, but. It's basically burning burning those cells, tissues, as well. So then, so it's just a part of the treatment. You do the chemo. Some people do it differently. They do it, but I had chemo first, then radiation, then surgery.
So is the machine more or less like a machine that only localized on that particular part of your body that you have cancer? Is the machine more or less like a machine like a MRI where your body is like going into it?
Yeah.
That's a good question. So think of it like a laser. That's what radiation is pretty much. It's a laser. So if you remember those little toy lasers, you look at it this, and if it's localized, then I didn't point to you because we don't repeat that. I mean, but if you're doing this, then it goes straight to that organ. So that's pretty much how I would explain it. Radiation is a laser, and chemo are medications. So, and some people have to do both at the same time. Some, like this sister, she did one and then had to do the other and then surgery. So what they had to do is shrink it and then get it on the body.
In my case, it was different. I got my breast removed first. Then after that, I did my chemo. Then I did my radiation because I wanted mine to get, I had an option, but I prefer just going here to take the poison out of it. Yeah. It's just remove both breasts because I only had cancer in one breast. And I had 6 lymph nodes that also had cancer in it. So I was just like, come on, let's do the surgery, and then we'll move from the second one, and then do radiation. So some people do it differently.
What your treatment is that determined by what stage you're at? And I ask that question is because my mother, when we found that she had I guess it was like a knot or something that was there, and they went and they tested it, and it came back. It was benign, but it came back where it could potentially turn cancer. So they had it removed, and then she did the radiation.
So if you have stage 0, stage 1, that means it's in one little spot. You know what I mean? So most people wouldn't do the radiation to that little spot because that radiation is the worst. And chemo's bad, but radiation can be really bad. I always speak to patients and they don't want to do it again, even if it comes back. My own mother, she's like, just, you promised me I wouldn't have to do it when it came back. So it's hard to do that. But just to answer your question, yes, stage 2 and stage 3, it has gotten bigger and then it has started to metastasize. It's still in that region, but maybe has got, like the sister said, it has maybe got to some of those lymph nodes. 3 is when it's hitting the lungs and bones and livers and, you know, my mom had it all. And even in the worst, her symptoms, she had no symptoms except a headache. And I just thought she needed attention, but she didn't. What happened, it got in the space between her brain and her skull. So it was just hanging out in this space. And I knew, holy crap, it's gonna hit her frontal within months. And it's 9 of us, so imagine me having to tell 9 siblings, this is what's about to happen. We got 3 good months with mama. Make your peace, love on her, because it's coming. And yeah, they look bad, but they eventually got on board with what she wanted, because we can't force them. You know what I mean?
My sister didn't have to do the chemo or radiation, but they gave her the pill. And so she had to take the pill from now on for, I think she said 5 years or 10 years or something.
It's that pill is still chemo. It's a chemo medication.
Okay, that's what I was
yeah,
wondering.
yeah.
Okay, and then the second one is this expensive?
It is expensive. It's expensive. I have insurance. My husband works St. Thomas. So we stayed in that field at St. Thomas because that's where we work at. I still have, I had it in 2019, I'm still paying wages. Insurance do not pay everything at all.
What percentage did the insurance pay, and how much would you out of pocket, if you don't mind sharing that type of information?
I say about 75% of it. Especially when you first find out you have cancer, they send you to, bam, this doctor, that doctor, this, we gotta run this test, you gotta run that test, you gotta run this test. Because they try to get to the need, like, who has cancer in your family? What genes will you get it from? The hair, they running all these tests. But all the insurance do not pay for all these tests. But thank God, you got people around you. You got people who love on you. I had people who donated to me. I had people to love on me. Also, I had a friend that worked at the hospital. She inboxed me and said, Miss Serena, she went to school with my son. She said, don't pay me no bills. Don't pay no bills. I said, don't pay my bills. She said, don't send them nothing. I got you. She said, I got you. So, honey, them bills came to zero. Some of them did, not all of them. Some of them that I owe came, and she took care of them for me because she worked in the department of the accounting department. And also, I had money from donation from my best friends and my sisterhood. I have a thing called sisterhood, and I got 40 ladies up under me. Okay. And what we do each month, we give $20 to the pot. And we find somebody who has cancer, we have to take care of them, okay? Because I had 2 girlfriends also with cancer. And they was having a hard time. We went to the cancer organization, and they wouldn't help. They said, no, we don't have no money for that. So I don't give money to these organizations. I don't give it to them. So we pay people bills, we cash out people when it's time, to help them out as much as we can. So I hope she don't get mad at me. But it's a lady here that I have been loving on, and my group has been loving on her, and she's almost done with the fight. Her name is Teresa. She went to school with me.
How you doing?
And I've been loving on her, we've been loving on her, and trying to make sure she's okay.
Right.
Right now, you like to tell them your story.
I don't mind.
Tell you, stand up and tell them.
So my daughter and I, we always did our breast monthly exams, and we were in a car wreck in October prior to me being diagnosed in December. So November was our time to check our breasts, and I felt a lump in my left breast, and I felt like a little nausea under my left arm. Well, my daughter, we always check behind one another. So she said, Mom, I'm finished. I don't feel anything. I said, okay, well, let me check. And she was good. So she said, how about you? I said, I'm not quite sure. So she immediately checked, and she took her hand off and she started crying. I said, no, don't cry, it's okay.
So as that mother instinct, we don't want our kids to cry, hurt, whatever. So fast forward, I said it'd be okay. It's probably from the car wreck, the seatbelt. So that was like on the weekend. So that following Monday, I immediately called my PCP doctor, and he got on it. So my PCP doctor told me to come in so he could do the testing himself, do the self breast exam. Well, so he could do the exam, and he felt it. So he immediately scheduled my mammogram and a 3D mammogram. A lot of times, if you feel something, the doctor should have you sent over to be tested with the machine as well as an ultrasound as well. So I had an ultrasound, and it showed that there was 2-size golf balls tumor on the left side. So I said, okay, when I did all of that, so then I had to go have like a biopsy. So I had the biopsy, waiting on that. So remember November to December 19th, I did all the results. Here I am, breast cancer, stage 3. I said, oh, well, we just gonna work this thing out. Yes, was it scary? Do I still have a little fear now? Yes. But I know with this support system that the ladies talked about, that is a must. So I immediately told my family, I told my co-workers that, you guys cannot be positive. I don't want to be around you, because you cannot be around negativity. You have to have positive, and for yourself, it's the self-motivation that you have to have. Do I want to live, or do I just want to just do it? If you do nothing, nothing will happen. So if you are proactive for yourself, you will get through it. And I had, like the lady said, I had a little more chemo than they did. I did 22 rounds of chemo. And then I had surgery. I had both of my breasts removed. I chose not to have implants. That's an individual thing. And now I'm going through my radiation. And I have to have, I just finished my first week of radiation last week, and I have 4 more weeks of radiation, and I'm gonna get through it. And you have the determination, and I had long hair. I don't care about hair. I want to live. I changed my appetite, diet, changed that. I love my baldness. I'm like, oh, I got hair now. I don't want this hair, but it's doing what it's doing. And again, like Sister Sarita said, she has a foundation that even just for them to call, send you a text, they love on 2 of the ladies are here, and 3 of the ladies that are here that's in the group, and they love on you. And even just sending a text, hey, how are you doing? That makes you feel good, because again, you guys talked about the therapy. When I was going through the chemo, I had the Jesus coming through, because that red medication that they give you, I never lost my appetite. Thank God. I didn't have the nausea, vomiting that a lot of patients have. I was so blessed. God has blessed me through it. I didn't go through that. But even when that red medication came through, I had an episode. I was in Kroger, and that's why they really need to have therapists really available. Because I was in Kroger, and my daughter and I had an episode, like a psychotic episode. I went to the restroom, and my daughter was getting the groceries she needed to pick up, and I forgot where I was. I thought someone had taken my daughter, and it's all because of that medication. And so you have to really be able to have that support system, people that you can call and say, hey, you have this, you have that. And you may not have everything that someone else may have, but your story is so different. Then you will be able to know how to help the next female or the next male that may, because I have a son, and I told him, he's 32. You need to go get checked. I didn't find out that, I didn't know that my mother had breast cancer and thyroid cancer until I got her medical records. She died. She didn't die of that. She died from a car wreck. So I guess she was trying to protect us, but it does not help. So mothers, if you're in here, if you are diagnosed, please do not keep that from your family because it could have been prevented from me. I'm not sure, but like how the nurse talked about the testing. With my testing to see if it was hereditary, they could not tell because I have a mutation. I carry a mutation. And so that's different because when you carry a mutation, they really don't know the origin of where it came from. So you just have to be proactive for yourself.
Thank you so much. Is there any other survivors in the room that would like to stand up and tell the testimony
I
as
have
well?
a sister-in-law here,
Okay.
and she actually, it's uterine cancer. So
Okay.
on top of breast cancer, women can get uterine cancer, and she has a foundation as well. Her name is CJ.
Hey, CJ.
She is really, she's very strong, and again, she's dealing with uterine cancer. So again, not only breast cancer, we can get uterine cancer. We can get, all types of cancer. So we have to just check on ourselves and go to the doctor when something ain't right.
Rasheeda, anything that you would like to tell anyone or any encouraging words that you would like to give to someone who's dealing with breast cancer? Anything you would like to say to help them along their journey?
During my process, my fight, I had a partial hysterectomy a long time ago. I heard my mom, I should have listened. I always listen to your mom. Your mama knows best. Okay? Your mama knows best.
It's great food.
I'm sorry, my mama knows best. And she's here with me right now.
Hey, Miss Gladys.
And she told me, she don't need those organs. Don't give her full hysterectomy. She don't need them. She was arguing with my doctor. I never forget it on the elevator. She was arguing. I should have listened to her. Once I found out, my doctor was like, so you got partial. Okay, you did a partial history. So we're just going to go ahead and make your appointment and get it all out. She said, I don't know. She said, I said, why I got to do it? I'm still young. He said, no, baby. My doctor is crazy. He said, Dr. Dawes, I don't know if y'all know him, but he's crazy. He said, since you got breast cancer, we just going to go ahead and take, you don't need all that. You're going to go on and take it out now. So that is play a little part of it, too. Because he made me go ahead and give to the rest of that full hysterectomy that I should have got a long time ago if I would have listened to my mama. So that was another surgery that I had to do. So I can tell y'all, listen to your bodies, listen to your brothers, check your body, go to the doctors. Go to your doctor. Don't be like, I'm okay. I know some people be like, I don't need to go to no doctor. I feel healthy. I know some people do that. But it's a fight. Don't give up. If you know somebody who's doing the fight, pray with them. Love on them. If you're going to be fake with them, don't be around them. They do not need that at all. Believe me. I had some fake people around me. And guess what? I don't be around them.
Amen.
This is my fight.
But before we move to Tasha, I have one question from a young lady in the audience. Miss Fonda, how you doing, beautiful? Please speak up so we can hear your question.
I'm a survivor as far as fighting with my mom. She was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, and so it was in her blood. So the cancer poisoned her blood. So anything that her blood and her body touched, it crumbled. So my mom, her torso shrunk. My mom used to be 5'3", being that the blood was so poisonous, her spine kind of was like a accordion. So it was just like, and she shrunk. So she's 4'10", 4'11" now. So, but the support, even though she was going through it, but that's why I say I'm a survivor too, because I was helping her fight. And by the grace of God, she's here. I don't care if she's 2 feet tall.
Thank Now you're looking good today, sis.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
All
coming.
I can say is, but God.
Amen.
Yes.
Tasha, is there anything you would like to say or encouraging words to someone who's a survivor or maybe going through the fight right now?
And just put your faith in God.
Yes.
And she said, have real supporting people around you. And if they're not supporting of you, or you feel like, they're not giving you what you need, you have the ability to say, I'm not dealing with you. I got a fight that I got to put on, and I can't deal. I need real, genuine people around in my corner. But yeah, just like you said, don't give up. Check your bodies, listen to your bodies, and like I said, keep God involved in everything. With Him, you'll be able to get through it.
Thank you so much. And so before we move any further, I would like to shout out my sister. You may have saw her picture on the flyer. Her name is Miss Kimberly Brown. She's a stage 3 survivor. And she wasn't able to make it today, but I want all of you to keep her lifted in your prayers. And I love her so much. So, I just want everybody to keep her lifted up and remember her name, Kimberly Brown. Nurse Abby. Would you like to close us out?
First of all, I am so grateful to be here, I'm here, I don't have family here. Like I said, I'm from Chicago, so I'm so grateful to see y'all faces and to see y'all and watch y'all support each other. It is beyond crazy. I'm not even gonna mention some of the things I'm going through and have been going through. I'll let her tell you. She knows what I've been going through. But I will just say this. When you know more, when you know better, you do better. You know what I mean? Number one, she hit it. Have faith in God. And for the last couple of years, he was not my homie. Because I've been through some stuff, and all I kept thinking in my mind is, God, I'm doing what you asked me to do. I'm serving your kids. Why are you doing this to me? So I didn't, anyway, I'm human. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm going to tell you this, keep the faith in God. Because I lost it for a minute. I'm back. So keep that faith in God. Because whether you know it or not, He got you. Even if you don't feel it in that moment, He got you. One of the biggest things is I'm psych certified. So mental health is everything. And I know everyone that spoke mentioned that. What I'm going to tell you is clinically, because they're speaking from emotions. I'm going to speak clinically about it. It determines it will determine if your cancer cell count. It really, really does. If you're going into a deep depression, y'all, it will take you. It will manifest differently. If it's negative, it's gonna manifest those symptoms negatively. It really does. It's a phenomenon. We can't even explain it. We just know it has something to do with brain cells, and that's how it works with our body. Because our brain controls everything, including those cancer cells. We all know that. So if our brain, which speaks on emotions, if our brain is telling us you ain't, and these people don't really, it's gonna go down. But if you got people lifting you and you feeling it, it's gonna lift, okay? So that's everything. She spoke on the war. It is a war, and she spoke on soldiers. That's who our support system are. Get them soldiers around you and cover each other, because we need it. We need it. I'm not gonna speak too much on it because I don't want to be a little crybaby up here, but I offer counseling too, education, if for anything, people call me all the time for whatever. Yeah, just be there for each other, especially, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. I'm so glad to be here, because sometimes you forget these things exist. People like you exist.
Tasha, can I give you a little? I've been knowing Tasha. Her husband took my pictures in 2018, and I didn't know she was going through the battle. I didn't know she went through this battle. I did not. And I'm like, we didn't even know. And I followed her husband on Facebook, and I didn't even know. And she didn't know we went to the same school. So I didn't even know.
Yes.
Look, Macy.
You too.
Yeah.
Both of you ladies. I would like to take this time to thank everyone who came out today. I would like to send a special shout out to one of Nashville, Tennessee's top chef, Mr. Keith Wilson. I also would like to thank the Talented Unique Generation Youth Development Organization for putting this together and putting this on. She did a fantastic job, and I'm just so grateful for her. Also to I.M.B Studios and Podcast, and our director, Mr. Bradley Crawford, for coming in and shooting this video. He's done a fantastic job. Thank you all for coming. So at this time, we're going to get ready to eat this brunch. And so I want to thank everyone again for coming out. Thank you all online and those who are watching this podcast. Thank you for your likes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I can't forget to say that. So, and also women, each year, get that breast exam. Each month, when you come on your cycle, do your self-breast exam. After 40, get that mammogram. And especially if you're at higher risk or if it's hereditary in your family, that's so important. Thank you all so much. And I'm closing out from I.M.B Studios Podcast.